Romney, good morning.
Good morning.
What did you want America to know about your husband as he spoke last night, and did it resonate in your judgment?
You know, I was very, very touched last night, as were my children, because I think for the first time, if you watch the whole evening, and I know all the American audience maybe didn't see all of that, where there are people in our lives, in our past, earlier life, that spoke up and talked about the guy that I know, that I love, and the side of him that I cherish. And that was how Mitt was there for people in time of need. We had Ted Oporowski and his beautiful wife Pat talking about how when their 14-year-old son David was dying of cancer, how Mitt was there visiting him in the hospital frequently and helping this boy. And that was before there were any cameras or any lights. There was another story by Pam Finlayson and how Mitt was there again for her when her little baby girl was born 3 months premature, and how Mitt was such a rock in their life in their difficult hours. There's story after story after story of those circumstances and events that happened in our life that people do not know about. And I think that's when I talked in my speech about how Mitt does not do these things for a political talking point, and he doesn't talk about them. But I was so glad that other people spoke up and talk about those things that Mitt has done in his life. And that's what I wanted people to see, is that other side of him.
Nora O'Donnell is with us.
Hi, good morning, Mrs. Romney. I was there in the convention hall as well last night. There was this really touching moment before Clint Eastwood and your husband came out, this video that talked about a lot of the things you were talking about, your background together, Mitt Romney's parents and their love story. Do you wish that video had aired in prime time instead of Clint Eastwood's monologue?
You know, I think it's important that people do see that side of Mitt. We appreciated Clint's support, of course, but it's so hard to really get a sense of who this person is in such a short amount of time. But yes, I do wish more people had seen those touching moments. And I've personally, Nora, for me, the more touching moments were the real personal testimonials, the real live people whose real lives had been so impacted by such loss and such difficulty in their lives, and how Mitt was there for them. And again, without a camera, without anybody recording it, with anybody talking about it. And I think the important thing to know is that it's been very hard for Mitt to open up about these things and to talk about things.
Why has it taken so long?
Because when something is that dear and close to your heart, there's something that you lose by sharing it, or sort of trying to shine a spotlight on you. When someone is going through real difficulties, you don't talk about how, oh, I did this and I did that. That's not why we do it. We do it to be there for one another and to care for one another. And I am just really grateful that Mitt is the kind of guy that taught my children by a powerful example of living that. And the gratitude I have in my heart as a mother now is that my children saw their father doing these things that we don't speak about often or that we don't share often. But they saw him and they saw how he lived. And example is so much more powerful than, you know, than saying the words and saying, be there for your brother or sister. We saw Mitt do those things.
Mrs. Romney, I sense that was the message that you too were trying to deliver, you know, learning from the example that you tried to provide testimonial to, and that people should trust Mitt Romney. I mean, you said that in your speech last night. So I just have to ask you, it seems like because this time is so precious and it's so hard to try and communicate that message in this kind of world, whether the Clint Eastwood thing was a distraction, was it a mistake?
Well, it's you know, again, we appreciated Clint's support, and he's a unique guy, and he did a unique thing last night, but again, you can never take away from the fact that this country's in trouble, and people are looking for real leadership, and that I know that Mitt is the man for this moment, And I hope most Americans will sense, too, what I sense and what I hear from so many women and so many men across this nation, that they are ready for a change.
He made the point clear in terms of the women that he worked with and how many, his chief of staff, and all the fact that so many people and his respect for women. But you seem to be surprised by by Clint Eastwood's performance as the camera took a cutaway of you.
I didn't know it was coming. Again, I can tell you we're grateful for everyone's support, and especially grateful for what a great night it was last night for us.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I know it was a long and happy night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.